I'll be honest about it. I was dead nervous because when we went to the Tyneside Cinema thing, and you were on the panel with Jill Halfpenny and that, and everybody else.
I was nervous.
But your story was fantastic. But me, like, because of the nature of what we do.
Bring it over this side, Cameron, right? I'll bring that to you as well. Feel free, use that.
All right,
just working around to go
right.
The mic.
I'll try not drink as well. As soon as we start, I won't drink. I'll try drink as much as I can, and then
yeah. So it's we give options.
So anyway, we were at the event and we were like, we don't want to be one of those arseholes that just comes straight up to you.
I wish you did, to be fair.
Hey, mate, all right, do you want to be on a podcast?
I would have been like, yeah, let's go. Because I always say, like, so I was going to move to London years ago.
Right.
And do you know, like, when they say that thing of, like, oh, go to London, that's where everything is.
Streets of paved with gold, man.
Yeah, but I love being here. I've been here since I was 3 years old. Do you know what I mean? And I was just like, I don't see myself moving down there.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can make something here and just stay here, then why not stay? But everyone has this thing, like, even when I'm speaking to, like, actors or musicians, like, oh, we need to get out of Newcastle. I was like, well, why don't we build something here so we can stay?
Yeah.
You know? So, like, stuff like this, I'm just like, I want to support it, because the more people are doing things, supporting it, then the bigger sort of things get. That's the way I see it.
Well, I mean, can I just, from the off, I just want to get your name right.
Right, yeah. You said it perfect, Kema.
Kema.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone says Kema, and I was like,
I'll
there's
always
no
going for Kema.
Right.
And I know you've had it a million times.
Yeah.
That thing, you probably had Kema Nan loads of times as a kid.
1,000%.
Yeah. Because we went straight. I was like, I've got Kema Nan in my head and I don't want to say that. But I've got to tell you now that that's what I was thinking straight away.
So how
you've got to have that. You must have had that as a kid.
1,000 all the time.
But it's a better thing to have than something else that someone's going to say.
Well, that's it. So since primary school, they always say Kema. And I'm like, but if you look at the word Kema, it's double E.
Yes,
so I'm just like, why? Why?
I think you know why, because we've got to associate something with something familiar.
That's it.
That's it, mate. I used to get Danielle Princess. My name's Dan Prince, but I used to get all sorts of stuff. Well, you can't Prince. You get Prince, and then you get all sorts of stuff. But you're like, all right, just pick something and go with it, because I'm going to get something anyway. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that from the off.
I had to do that because we had one episode, right, with... I still go to say Leo.
Oh, Leo. We call him Leo for
his
sure.
His name's Leo. Do you know, so the guy who did he was doing the running from North Shields to New York.
Oh, right,
Marathon Man.
Yes,
right, did the podcast. And we were like, his name is Leodhais, right?
You're like, how
so
do you
we
say that?
first of all called him Leo Days.
Leo Days.
Yeah.
And then when he came on the podcast, we called him Leo for half the podcast, and he went, "You do know my name's Lewis."
Like, could have told us in the beginning. Like,
I felt like trigger off all these people's noses, because I'm pretty sure I still said, "Thanks, Leo."
Yeah. Well, I do it all the time, because even when I was on set the other day, and they're like, "Oh, you all right? This is Kema." I was like, "Sorry, it's Kema." So it's weird. Like, sometimes I feel weird being like, "No, it's Kema," but I'm just like, I shouldn't. That's my name.
That's your name. yeah.
But I do always correct people.
Yeah,
like, when
but I think it's from the off, because you must have been in a situation where you're younger and you haven't got the confidence, so you just go with it.
Yeah, literally.
I've been called, David or whatever, it's kind of, they don't know your name. And you end up going, I've got to go with it now, because I
they've been calling us this for so long. It's just awkward now. Bringing up
I always feel, look, let's call me out. And then I feel like I'm the idiot, and then you can correct the idiot, and then we can kind of go from there. You know what I mean?
Can you just see the internal cogs of Dan's brain going round?
But it's that, because you constantly like, your mind's spinning, going in like different directions. But let's just rip the band-aid off now, and then we can go from there.
And then we're good,
and then we're all safe.
Yeah, literally.
So
it was actually it was Ken Loach when I was in. He kept calling me Kema all the way through, and I thought, I was like, it's Kema, and then I hadn't seen him for, I think it was a couple of years, and he came down and he was like, "You're right, Kema." I was like what the heck, it's Kema, man. Like after that, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, and I'm just like. Yeah, after a while, you just...
How old were you then?
Oh, God. Because that was a while ago, wasn't it? So I was thinking I was 24.
Oh, okay.
23. Yeah. 22, sorry. 22.
How old are you now, Kema?
32.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I was going to say you're 24
10 years ago.
Black dog crack, you know.
I was going to say that. I thought you were going to say, when I was Daniel Blake, I was 14.
Yeah, 20. I was 22. and that was my first speaking role as well.
Really? Was it?
Yeah. So it was interesting because obviously I'd done like loads of extra work before, and I thought it, like the way it worked is like, oh, you're on set and someone's going to grab you and be like, oh, do you want a full part? But I didn't know that's that's not how it worked. Yeah. So I was just doing loads of extra work, and then I remember I had this awful job. I don't know if we're recording, so I'll not say who it is. But it was something I was in, and they asked me to do something which I just wasn't comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, no one told us I was doing this. And he was just like, well, you're an extra, like, you just got to do what we tell you. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, is this what the acting world is? And then I remember thinking, do you know what? I just don't want to be part of it. Like, I'm totally done. And then I think it was a week later, I got the call for the audition to do the Daniel Blake thing. So I nearly never went to the audition.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you were already at that point though, like, so after you did that extra role, were you kind of teetering?
Yeah, I was done because, there was a time when I was getting paid less than everyone else because the agency I was with, I think when they got the fee, they were just like, yeah, because they had like thousands of people on their books. So I was with an extras agency. But the other ones who were there, they were with like another agent who basically fought for a bigger fee for it. But then when I found out what I was getting paid to them, I was like, we're doing the same thing. Why am I getting paid less? Yeah. And then there was the other job where I just got asked to do something I didn't want to do. And then I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to get a part being an extra, and it's just too much stress. I'm absolutely done. And then I remember my agent at the time was like, oh, a casting director wants to see you, but they didn't tell you what it was for. And then I was just like, I'm only going if they pay for my expenses to go. I literally said that. I was like, if they pay for my expenses to get there, I'm not. But obviously not knowing who it was. And at the time, so I remember I used to get the Metro into town because I was living in Fordham at the time. It was too expensive. So I was like, if they don't pay for it, I'm just not going and tell them that. And they came back. They're like, yeah, they'll pay your expense. And I was like, right, sweet. So went there, spoke to the casting director, and I told them, yeah, this is sort of what I want to do. And they asked about my career, my music career, and what I do, why I want to do what I do. And then I thought that was it. And I was like, that's weird for an audition. And then the next time I was called back, it was with Ken Loach and Paul Laverty, the screenwriter.
Yeah.
And then we had this scenario where there was other like actors who had been auditioning, and then Ken gave her this scenario, and then he just put the camera in front of her, and he's just like, right, go. And then I was just like, oh shit, like what I just had to act on the spot.
Yeah.
So done it, thinking obviously nothing of it. And then I remember I'd done it 2 or 3 auditions, and the last one I'd done, I'd lost the money he'd give us, but obviously had next to nothing, and I needed that money. So left the audition, came back in. I was just like, sorry to disturb you, like, you know, the tenner you give us for the expenses, I really need it. And I lost it. Can I just check in the room? So I'm looking in the room for this £10 and they're laughing. And I'm like, I'm feeling bad. I'm just like, why are you laughing? Like, they don't know how much I actually need this.
Actually lost it.
Yeah. And then I was just like, oh, this is so embarrassing. And then didn't find it. I was stressed. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. This is a sign just to be done. And then before I left the room, he called me Kema again. He's like, Kema. I was like, yeah. He's like, and he winked. He's like, see you soon. But again, I was just like, don't even know what that means. Yeah. I was just too over my head. And then, yeah, my agent at the time comes like, oh, you got a part. And I was just like, well, what part have I got? They're like, oh, they can't tell you yet, but you've got a part. And I was just like, what's going on, you know? And it wasn't until, I think it was a few days before filming, because the way Ken works is he likes to give you a bit of script at the time. And
just on the lead up to it.
Yeah. I was just like, well, where's the script? What's happening? And we got given a script, I think it was 3 days before, and then I seen how much I had in it, and I was like, oh shit, it's actually an actual part. so literally 3 days before filming, I knew it was like a proper part. And then obviously going in to do the whole the costume fittings and things, never done that. I mean, I did do that with extra works, but like not to this extent. And then the way the industry treats extras to actors is awful, because you have like there used to be this thing where everyone went for their dinner, and obviously the actors and the crew, they got their dinner first, and the extras basically got the scraps. And I remember being on, I'll not say the show I was on again for an extra, but we went on a bus because everyone was freezing, and one of the actors got on the bus, and then he must have called the crew, and he was just like, "Oh, like, can you get all the extras off the bus because they wanted to be alone?" So there was like 20 of us, and we had to get off the bus and stand in the freezing cold so one actor could sit on the bus.
Is it a class system within
filmmaking,
isn't it?
I've been in it, I've seen it, because I used to obviously doing stills on sets and stuff like that, so you kind of get that. All the extras are sitting like huddled around like a little fire in a warehouse freezing. Do you know what I mean? Sitting there for 12 hours to walk in and do half an hour.
Literally, it was...
It's rough, isn't it? It's really kind of... You got to need dedication to do it.
It's... From what I learned, I was like, do you know what? Like, if you're wanting to do acting, if you're being an extra, that isn't the route to become an actor. I think being an extra is just kind of like, you love being on set, you love probably meeting new people, but if you're wanting to do that as a career, it's probably not the route to go. That's what I learned anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of something that people do as a fill-in, because they'll put like an extras call out to go, all right, the filming, they just want like 100 people coming over the hill dressed as a knight or something like that. So that's all you are.
Yeah.
You spend like 10 hours waiting around for this half hour of walking over a hill, but they just need you there just so you can do it. But
2 seconds.
I think I did that when in my 20s. I was an extra in a Carlin advert, honestly. And it was filmed on the quayside.
Right.
Just around where 21 used to be, on Queen Street.
Yeah.
And I was there for 14 hours.
Yeah.
And all I had to do is walk the same, 3 meters around a corner, and they had a rain machine up.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be walking in the rain in a big group of people. It was back and forward, but soaked through all day, just standing in the cold. I think I got like 200 quid or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that money still hasn't gone up though.
Yeah,
it's like 150 quid.
Honestly, it was less, because I think a full day, which was like you could do like, I think it was like 10 hours or something, you'd get like 100 quid or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember they were like, oh, I think it was on, I mean, I'll say the show because it got cancelled anyways. It was Beowulf, the TV series. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was an extra on that, and they're like, oh, can we shave the side of your head and we'll pay you an extra 100 quid? And I was like, no.
Shave your head for an extra 100 quid?
Yeah, and I was like, what? So I'm just going to walk around with it. Yeah, but one side shaved off.
You should have said you could do both for 200.
And literally, honestly, I was like, what an... But just the... Yeah, the stuff being an extra, it's just...
You're kind of like a mannequin, aren't you? It's like, you know, when a model, you're a mannequin for the clothes, that's it. But they get very well paid.
Yeah.
When you're an extra, you don't. And I do think it's a bit... You definitely find out if you want to do that for a living by being an extra. You go, this ain't for me. This is terrible. Even actors complain about it. Yeah, comedians talk about it going... Well, I can go on stage, do this and get more money than standing over there waiting for 12 hours for you to get me on set for half an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's them being like on the first casting sheet as well.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's kind of, so going from an extra to being, you know, first on the sheet, top of the casting list, what's that like? Well, there's got to be a feeling of like...
Can I just say, to add to that, so that moment when he winked at you and your thought process beyond that point and actually walking onto set with a script that you just said, did you have any wobbles? Were you confident or were you anxious? Or...
That's a really good question. So actually did help being an extra, but not at the same time. But being an extra, I got to see how the set works, like, you know, action and who's doing what and who's doing this. So I kind of knew what to expect as what I'm going to be doing. So what I did love doing being an extra is watching how the actors do the thing. But when I've realised it was an actual part, I did shit myself. I was just like, this is an actual part.
Different.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah. And I was just like, but it was one of them things as in like, well, what am I going to do? Turn it down now? Like, I'm here now. This is what I've been wanting. It's now my opportunity. And I remember like just learning the script as much as I could. And he said he didn't want you to completely learn it. But I was just like, no, I'm not giving myself that pressure. So learned the script as much as I could. And I remember obviously just the, you know, camera and face and action. I was really nervous. I think the first take we'd done it took so many takes to even get it right. Because even just having that thing of like so many different people on set watching you in the camera and like the attention's on you and having to act without looking nervous on camera. It's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You know? It's like having to block stuff out to do your job,
It's like having to be a double actor. You've got to act in front of these to act your thing, the role that you're doing.
Yeah, there's about 400 filters over yourself.
Yeah, but I think it's but it's just reps. It's the more reps you do, the easier it gets.
That's it. And I think as well, what I did learn is like even like overacting things as well. Because like when you're nervous, you end up like really like, do you know what I mean? Like going for it. And I think just finding that space where just calming yourself down to be able to just, like say for example, we're speaking, having a conversation now. If this was a scene, it's very natural. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't know that world though. You do. Is the people supporting you? Is the people supporting you in that environment as an actor? Like, kind
it depends on how important you are.
Yeah. There was one thing I remember what happened on set, and because obviously the actors, they're totally taken care of and things like that. And there was a scene where obviously there was a bunch of extras and stuff, and it was freezing. And then I got given like this jacket and these like hand warmers. And then I'm watching all these extras just like freezing. I'm just like, I know what it's like to be like you. Yeah. And I felt really bad. And there was this last like just absolutely freezing. I took my coat off. I was like, there you go. And then they came to me and they're like, no, that's for you. I'm just like, can you not do something that they're freezing? They're like, no, you don't worry about them. You just do what you need to do. But this is your coat. Like, it's not for them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, like I understand the system and how it's so built. It is like depends how important you are. Is that
just a cultural thing on a set, or is that a budget thing? Is it just like, we can't overservice those people too much?
It depends on which set you're on, but the bigger it is, depends on how many people you have to do it, but it depends on who's doing that job as well. There's already somebody looking after somebody all the time. You know, I was on a set, I think Frankie Dettori was doing something, but he sat with all the extras and had a crack, do you know what I mean? He sat leaned in, he gave everybody time, so it made them feel valued in that space, because all they're doing is going, oh, he's the famous guy over there. And he wasn't doing that. He was wandering around, he was having a chat, he was having a natter. Frank Bruno, the same. You couldn't get him to do his job. He was too busy talking to everybody, you know what I mean? So, but he's a people guy.
Didn't you do Casino Royale?
Casino Royale's different. Guy walks in, does his thing, disappears. Do you know what I mean? So like Daniel Craig comes in. But I was an assistant then, so all that kind of stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like the extras level of being the photographer. You're doing the help. You're carrying the bag, putting the cables up. Do you know what I mean? Don't look at him, didn't talk to him, don't do any of that. You can't do any of that stuff, right? So it's just the levels to the game is phenomenal, but you know how insignificant you are in that room. Soon as you're on the call sheet, right, people treat you differently. I've gone from photographer to director doing something, and sorry, Dan, you get that as just a photographer that turns up on the set. Different. I'm like, now you're listening.
Treat me like this. What about last week?
but now you're listening, and then we'll rock up. It's our company, our business. You want people change the tone when they're talking, but I'm like, you shouldn't change your tone for anyone, because we don't. I don't. At all.
Same. I believe in just treat people how they treat you. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's a human being, and you shouldn't treat anyone differently depending on what level they're at. Because I've been on set before and watched extras treat me really differently, and I'm just like, listen, like I'm just the same as you. I was an extra like 6 months ago. Do you know what I mean? But it's a really weird culture as well, because it's almost like I don't know how or why the system was built that way, but it is that thing, as you're saying, when you're on that call sheet, people treat you depending on what you are on that sheet.
Oh, completely. Because it's the people around you, there's somebody for you, and I understand how much pressure there is on that actor, because if you're carrying the whole thing, you ain't got time to be messing about. But if Tom Cruise can do it, then I think everybody can do it.
Exactly.
Depends on, it's your energy and your approach to that situation at the time. And I think it's how you treat everything, and you should do, obviously, what you're doing is just talking to everyone. But why not have a little natter then? Go, all right, give us 2 minutes, and then, you don't have to walk around being method all the time. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. You know? There was one, this is when I was still an extra. I don't know why we're talking about extras a lot, but anyways, we're here.
It's a good TV show. It is. Because it was true. Because that's the thing, Ricky Gervais could say that because it's true, because he knows what that's like. And he can put himself in those shoes of feeling like an arsehole at the side of the thing, just having a little natter about it now. Go, all right, okay, we're on.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, that's it. I remember I was on set, and I can't remember the actor's name, but I was in the scene with him, and I was there's an extra, and then what's the other one? Is it supported extra?
Supporting actor or something.
So something like that, where you just a bump up than an extra. Yeah. And so I was in his trailer, and I was just like, oh, and this is obviously before I got my first speaking role, and I was just like, oh, could I get some advice? I'm trying to be an actor. He said, you know what, I'm sick to death of this, and I was just like, whoa. He's like, I'm sick of extras thinking they're going to become stars. And he's like, have you been to drama school? And I was like, no, I haven't.
That's a question.
I was like, yo, I generally just asked him really nicely. He's like, have you been to drama school? I was like, no. And he's like, I've been to drama school, and it was 7 years before I got my first role. So what makes you think you're going to be an actor? And I was just like, shouldn't ask. Like, I was just, you know what I mean? Like, but that was my experience coming into that extra world. And I was just, and all these things were just like, maybe this isn't for me, you know?
It puts you off asking the question, though,
it does.
Kema, and that really miffs me. Somebody asked us a question, even when I was starting out, assistants, you didn't ask the techniques of lighting of sets. Like, oh, they're not going to tell you your secret technique to lighten a room. Why?
Yeah.
It's not, you're not saving lives.
Yeah, exactly.
And why not?
Exactly.
You know, it's experience. You should give input and help the person understand what the thing is that they want to do. Yeah. What's the shut door? I'm not going to tell you because what you might steal all my work. I don't understand this thing, you know. Yeah. So give advice, be a normal human, because you know what? When you rise, they might want to say you and oh, hang on. Well, you weren't nice to me back then.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to treat you the same.
Exactly.
But you're going to want something from me.
Exactly.
You know, it comes and it does because I've seen it.
And what I've learned, even sort of moving up or doing whatever I'm doing, I'm just like, whatever position I find myself in, because obviously your career's like that, do you know what I mean? It's never just some people are lucky to have the consistent up, but like majority of us, it's like, you know, west, up, down. And I says never to put my value in what I do. Like what I do isn't me.
All right, okay.
Yeah. That's healthy, that, man.
It's hard.
It's hard
to have that partition and separate yourself out.
But the reason I do that, because you can get lost in the sauce. Like when you're in something really good, and then like, you know, everyone's like, oh, you're doing min, everyone's laughing at your jokes, but they're not even funny. And you start thinking you're the guy.
We just laughing at
you know what I'm saying? You start thinking you're the guy.
Yeah.
And then say, for example, your situation changes and no one's laughing at your jokes anymore. Everyone's treating you, and you're just like, wait a minute, like that, and then that can affect you emotionally as well.
Of course.
So I told myself never to sort of put my value in what I do, like, because I feel like as long as I can do what I love and like have a career from it and be happy about it, then that's I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
that's a really healthy position though, because we're at a point now where nothing's always just vertical. You don't just go up and keep going up. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you go sideways, or you know what I mean? So
I completely understand. I've been in the game for, like, you know, talking about myself, you know what I mean? But 18 years in the game, I know. 18 years in the game, it's hard to get that. Yeah. You always think it's going to go away tomorrow. Yeah. Still here. Mm-hmm. Must be doing something right, do you know what I mean? But because the world has changed, then you pivot and then we move on and we do something like that. But it's adjacent to what you did before. Mm-hmm. You're just kind of growing as a human as well. Mm-hmm. But what I was what people wanted me to be in that industry. So you do put your whole purpose of who you are into what you do. Mm-hmm. When that's taken away, who are you? Yeah. And I think a lot of people were affected by COVID through that. Do you know what I mean? So I think you're on to keep doing that, because it's the best thing to be. Mm-hmm. Because you can pivot and do other things as well. Because you will.
Yeah.
You know for a fact you will. And if you put every single thing into what one thing is, where are you and who are you when that disappears? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. And it's why, like, I even dabbled into like presenting and stuff. Like, that's not anything I even thought I wanted to do, because I was like, no, this is what I do, so that's what I should stick at. Mm-hmm. But I was open to other sort of ways of being creative, and then having opportunities that way as well, and just really having a good time.
But when you got the first role as an actor, with a speaking role, at that point in time, were you just, this is where I want to head as an actor? You didn't think about the other stuff? Because now I know you produce, you produce music, you've got a complete diverse array of creative outputs. Was that in your head then? Did you always have that in you?
when it happened, because I didn't know how big the film was going to be. Like, for what happened after it, I couldn't have foreseen that.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that way at the time.
Groundbreaking, mate, when I saw
it was. I was like, what the hell? But the way things started to change, I was just like, oh, wow, this is an interesting path. Because I ended up being signed to one of the top 5 in the UK United agents. Mm-hmm. So I was with them for a bit. And I was getting like auditions for like Marvel and stuff. And I was like, what? I'm from the West End, like, what the hell?
You've gone from extra, you got one gig, and then all of a sudden they want you. It's mad, isn't it? How it changes on a whim.
Yeah, and to be, I got to be honest, like, it did mess with me a bit because, like, obviously I grew up in the West End of Newcastle, so like stuff like that doesn't happen to lads like me. Do you know what I mean? We don't go that far. So I'm sitting there. I had an audition. It was for, I don't know if you remember, Skyscraper with a rock in it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I had an audition for that, and I got to the last stage. It was literally the last one, and I literally thought I was going to get the role. I think I was meant to be playing, I can't remember what it was. It was one of the security guards, but it was like a speaking role on it. But obviously I would have got to meet The Rock and be on set with The Rock. And I remember saying to my agent at the time, I was just like, I can't get my head around this. Like, and then, do you know, the imposter syndrome that started to kick in? I'm just like, should I even be here? Like, I've had one speaking role and I'm getting all these crazy auditions, and didn't get the role and stuff. But then the casting director still loved what I'd done, and I was getting loads of auditions from America and things. And it took a while to get settled, as in like, look, you're here, so like, believe you're here and just work hard and do with what you can, because a lot of people would love sort of these opportunities.
It's weird how we have that complex in the Northeast. I'm just thinking, do you know why? We've got a podcast that goes live on Saturday.
Right.
And he said almost exactly the same sentence as you, but he's probably about 40 years older than you. Didn't he, though?
He did, yeah.
Why should a lad from the West End of Newcastle be given these opportunities? And he had a chip on his shoulder all his life about that thing.
Yeah.
And it's just such a prevalent thing that you tend to hear from people from working class areas of the Northeast.
It is.
And it's so entrenched in how we think.
I think it's because, like, you know, it's our environment, what we see as well. And I think it's a really hard thing to take yourself outside of your environment to experience something else. Because the way I grew up in Stanhope Street, but never even used to go to town. Whenever I was out, I was just in the estate all the time. Yeah. And I remember when I went to college and I started hearing like people who had like people from London and things like that. Obviously, I heard different accents on the telly and stuff, but didn't think that in Newcastle, because I never met anyone from, like, I was always just in the estate. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in college and just meeting loads of different people and from different parts of the UK and all that. And I was just like it was hard to wrap around, because I was just used to growing up with Geordies and not seeing anyone else apart from George. Yeah. So little things like that. How do you see the world as so big if like your whole environment is so small?
But it's a strange state of mind, that, isn't it? Because I had the same thing. So I was brought up in Heaven, right south of the river. And funny enough, I lived in Fordon around at the same time you were there. You said, right? So I brought my kids up in Fordon. But I used to have that feeling that you'd come into Newcastle and you'd almost feel like an inside-outer, if that makes any sense. Because you'd go into an environment, I wasn't used to hearing people from around the country. And I'd go into Newcastle and I'd always feel just as alienated because I didn't recognise anything. Do you know what I mean?
So, aye.
I don't know what probably isn't just a Northeast thing. It could happen in Norwich. It could happen anywhere else around the country if you're living in a suburb or a small community.
Yeah, but, you know, have you moved out? Have you lived anywhere else apart from the Northeast?
Always stayed. Yeah,
I was the only one out of my mates to move away from the Northeast. Mm-hmm. So I went to London to assist, because it was like, when you go to London, because there was no industry up here. Mm-hmm. Well, there was, but you know, nobody wanted to do it. So you go there, but it opened my eyes into like lots of people from around the world in one pot, but nobody cared about where you were from. No one cared about that. They were caring about what they wanted to do and achieve. Mm-hmm. Very career orientated, and it sort of opened my mind as to the kind of that hold back of the region. And when I was down there, no one gave a shit about, no one was slagging anyone off. They were just doing their own thing. It wasn't kind of like pulling you back, crabs in a bucket thing. It wasn't that. I was kind of raised in that. There's always this dig. There's always a slight dig constantly. I think you're better than us. All that kind of stuff all of the time. So it was really tough for me to go, this is a brand new way of thinking, and it really opened my mind to be around people not from the Northeast. Yeah. But it was amazing. But it wasn't. Why should it be? Mm-hmm. I was living in a place with, there's a middle-class lad who was a photojournalist, and then I had a French girl who was living there, and then I had somebody, do you know what I mean? I was just around everyone, loads of Australians, everyone from around the world, Eastern European assistants. It was just this whole gamut, and it was really hard to kind of change your mindset. But I did come up against it. What are you doing down here, Dan? Why didn't you just go to Birmingham? Loads of people down here are really trying to put you off from being there. And I'm like, I just want to try and make it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just want to try and learn. Can I not learn? Am I not allowed to do that? Yeah. And from keeping on couches to kind of working your way from third assistant to second assistant, first assistant, I was like, move back home and then just hit the streets with your work and try and get some. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's graft, but it teaches you a lot.
It does.
It kind of, you become an expert in people. That's psychology. Yeah. You can read a room when you walk in it. Yeah. I mean, now you're like, you know how to feed it and you know how to go, but this is the first time probably in my career that I can actually sit down and openly talk how I would like to talk. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're putting your own opinions out there.
That's
whether people like it or not, tough. We're here now. This is what I'm going to say, because normally it's involved in film.
Yeah.
I create the story inside my head because my brain goes everywhere, but it's easy for me. You give us all the things to do, I'm great. Yeah. But this doesn't really compute there and come out as clear as it should be. Hey,
no, you're right.
So that's the
you're
thing,
right. Yeah, that's a really good point.
But you got this all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. You got this all the time. And how do you deal with that? Mm-hmm. You've got to go on, calm it down, say your thing, do your lines. Imposter syndrome, no. Imposter syndrome, no. Are you still there now or not? Are you kind of, where are you now?
You speak it. That's exactly the process. Do you know what? It's hard. It is hard. I always say, like, being an actor, like it is a real skill. And I think a lot of the things what people struggle with is the nerves and the imposter syndrome and like thinking too much, having to think about what you're doing without thinking too much, but still think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's like doing it, obviously learning that skill. I was like, this is actually really hard.
Mm-hmm. Let's say people always say to you, just being yourself, be present. But you're being somebody else, then trying to be present at the same time.
But it's hard, but sometimes you go, you go in, you drop a little joke, kind of lighten the mood because you're nervous, or you over talk or whatever. You go, all right, pull that back, don't say that, they don't like that, and all that kind of stuff. It's really hard in the acting world because you say one thing, that could be the end of you. Yeah. It really is. It's one of those, isn't it? Yeah. You say the one wrong thing, no work again.
My old agent, I remember the advice when she represented me, the advice she gave us, she was just like, I'm just give you one advice, don't be a dick, it's a small industry. And I was like,
that should be,
simple,
that's it.
Yeah. You should get that tattooed.
Yeah. I said everyone should wear that as a t-shirt. You don't need 10 commandments, you need one, don't be a dick, because it applies to everything. It does.
Yeah.
But did she kind of encourage you to be yourself? Or have you always been yourself, or do you have to wear a different hat?
No, so obviously she was a London agent, and I remember her saying, because I love the whole, you don't really see black Geordies on telly. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if we've seen any since me.
No, you don't. Right.
At all. Yeah. And I thought it's a really good niche as well. Do you know what I mean? It's different, but it shows that Newcastle isn't just black people here as well. There's loads of different cultures. And I remember her saying to her, she was just like, look, I love the whole black Geordie thing, but you need to change your accent. And I was like, well, obviously, if there's a part, then I can do that. But she's like, no, like, I'm thinking of maybe getting you some like vocal coaches so when you're speaking in interviews, like you're not as broad. And I was a little bit disheartened by that. And I was like, what? So you're trying to rub me out?
Dilute me down?
Yeah. And, I'm trying to give political answers because I don't want to mention some names, but meeting some people who are like, have done massive things and seeing how they've got rid of who they are from being here. If
it
that makes sense.
Their authenticity, doesn't it?
Yeah. Completely. I'm not going to mention names, but
it must feel disheartening.
It is because I'm like, you're really successful, like, but I can see, but I can imagine it was probably even worse when they started, because obviously it happened with me, and then I see it and I hear it, and I'm just like, it's almost like there's this blueprint what everyone wants people to be, and for some, I think it's changing a little bit, but I think like living up north, like it's not taken as seriously down south. That's what I've started to learn.
But you've got to double down on that stuff though. Yeah. Like you have to, I don't want to bang on about the word authenticity, but you preserving your essence, right? Even in the midst of all this pressure from people to go the other way, surely that's where your uniqueness lies. It's like what we do here. We always say we're not going to compromise. I'd rather get one more follower a week than compromise on what we're trying to do, because we want to have a northeast tone of voice. It's the whole point. Someone stepped in and went, "Oh, we'll sponsor you for $1 million if you do X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
So I would say no.
Yeah. No. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've had a few comments about how we do things. Like, we do really have to do it how we want to do it in a way. But I totally agree. When I moved to London, you clear it up because you're around people who can't understand a word you're saying. And it's really hard. We can talk fast all the time. I can understand Scottish people, Irish people, all that kind of stuff, because we're good at that. But you've got to really slow it down, clear it up. And then when you come back home, you go, "Oh, you're sounding posh now." You get all that.
It's like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
It is. Because you get that. You get the reverse snobbery. You go to London. I had that at work.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? Back from London now, are you?
Yeah. But you do get that, and it does happen. Everybody wants authentic voices, and they go, "Oh, it's great. We need to do that. We need to represent everybody." But then they'll want to butter it up a little bit, or wash it down, or dilute it a touch. They still do it, and they still know. But if you made it on your own with your voice, they won't do that.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around. You're wanting the job from them, they'll change who you are.
No,
There's definitely a way around it. Do you know what I mean? But you have to do the graft yourself. It's a long game, man.
It was. I'd seen an interview on Arnie, and I remember he was saying, like, obviously when he was coming up, they were like, "Get rid of your accent, get rid of your accent." But that's what he's known for now.
It's ironic.
Like imagining Arnie without the accent, like it just wouldn't
Hercules
work.
in New York that dubbed his voice. It was some kind of American dude. It was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
but then he's known for that.
Yeah.
But he became the biggest thing, bigger than his voice.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man.
It's hard because there's that balance of like trying to move forward. Because I've turned down a lot of opportunities. Like I've turned down things where like if I said yes to that, I probably would be further. But I was just like, but I'd be further in a way I don't want to be, and then I'm not being me. And I don't know how long that's going to last as well, because things change all the time anyway. And I had to make a decision. I was just like, right, if I'm really going to stay in this creative career and do what I'm going to do, I need to find a way to really enjoy it. And when I'm turning things down, know why I'm turning them down as well. But it's hard because it's like, obviously you want to move forward in your career as well. You want to get these opportunities. You want to get paid. And it's like, if you're consistently turning things down, then what you're going to do, because then when's the next opportunity coming as well? So it's that really hard balance.
It is tough, mate. You got to keep the lights on, but you don't want to give up who you are as a human, because that down the road is going to knock you.
Well, that's it.
So how did that map out for you then? So see, you've just finished Daniel Blake. You said your head was all over the place a little bit. How did you start to make sense of what you were going to do next? So and kind of get to where you are now?
Yeah. So obviously got signed by this agency, and then auditioning and things like that. And then I realised like even the auditioning process is another ball game, because it's like you do 1,000 auditions and get one job.
Yeah.
And even just having that grit. But with my story, I'm going to try to say it in a way without rambling. I grew up with a lot of uncertainty anyway. So I'm sort of used to not knowing what's going to happen next. I'm used to consistently getting knocked back. So for me, I was just like, as long as I'm doing the work, it's fine. But then it got to a point where I think it was, I don't know if you know that saying, it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
And expecting different results.
Yes. So that came into my head and I was like, right, I need to find a different way. And then I ended up writing a one-man show. And then that done really well locally. It went to Edinburgh, done really well. And then I was meeting like producers and stuff who want to work on kind of transferring that to TV. So doing that, and then alongside I was doing BBC documentaries as well. asked to do stuff for like the Great North Run, presenting that, and all these other little opportunities. But I know they wouldn't have came if I never changed the way I was doing things. And then now I treat my career in a way of like, it's just like how it was before. You're just trying to figure it out. You're just at a new level. And I can't remember who said it, but I was watching an interview on someone and he says, you know, you never arrive, you just become the smallest member in a new club.
Yeah.
And so that's how I treat everything now. Like, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I never feel like I've arrived or I'm Kema doing this. Like, I never feel like that.
Really healthy way to look at it though.
If you don't, it messes you up. Like, there's so many things in this career that just, and you meet people as well, and you see how they are, you see how they act, you see the way they go, and you can just see it, like, it chews you up and spits you out. You know.
So actually, it's healthy to be like, there might not be a final destination here.
Yeah.
So I've just got to enjoy the journey. Wherever it's heading.
But life is the journey, and if you're missing out on that, then you're going to get to the end and not enjoyed any of it.
Exactly.
That's a crime. Is to do that. It really is tough, Kevin, because when you're in a creative mind, this is all you're thinking about, and you want to move forward. And sometimes you go, I want this, and I want to get there. You might spend a lifetime trying to get there and never get there. Yeah. So why don't you just go with what's happening now and then pivot? But you can enjoy the moment and stop trying to guide it too much. I don't think you can guide it too much. I think you got to go with it.
Do you know, it's so funny, right? Do you know when people are like, I had this all planned out and I plan to do this, and it never works like that. Yeah. It never works like that. But I feel like a lot of the times we take credit for the good things that happen.
Yeah, when it happened.
Yeah, when it happens, like, yeah, man, I always had it planned out. I knew I was going to do this. Yeah. But whereas in like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
It was meant to be this way.
Yeah, it was meant to, but it's not like that. But it's like, but okay to accept that, but we don't accept when it's not sort of going our way, and we'll put our heart and soul into something and it doesn't work out. Like, we just disregard that, but the good things we take on and we're like, did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, because totally. It's the roller coaster of life, and it's really hard when you're on the down, but it's great when you're on the up, because you think, we're flying, eh?
Yeah.
And then what happens? The next thing. But sometimes taking that step back, you could actually go 5 steps forward. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? By just taking them 2 steps back or something, or just giving it a minute and go, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Let's do music or whatever it is. Let's change who I am a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Let's add to the skill sets of what I can do, and then another door will open up, and you go, hang on. Do you know what I mean? What's this? Let's go through it.
Yeah,
it's fun though, isn't it?
It's amazing. I think that's the beauty of it all, because everything I was doing a talk in Sunderland yesterday actually, and one of the questions the kids asked us was like, what's your most proud moment? I was just like, sometimes that's really hard, because where I'm at now, I'm always thinking like I'm chasing the next thing. Yeah. And I've forgot about half the things I've done as well. So I'm having to look back and be like, is it that moment? But I would have said that 2 years ago, but maybe it's not now. Maybe it's that moment. And I was just like, I try not to dwell too much on the wins, but neither on the losses as well. I'm just like, as long as I can do what I love and keep moving forward, then I'm happy.
That's what they say. I mean, it's equal, isn't it? You know what I mean? Don't give yourself too much shit, but don't kind of over celebrate the wins.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I'm the same. I find it hard to enjoy the now and the process, because I'm so driven to move forward. Yeah. But sometimes you get caught up in that.
That's it, yeah.
It gets a bit cloudy in the mind, do you know what I mean?
It does. It really, like, so I feel like as humans, we try to control everything, do you know what I mean? We try like, this has to go like this, but then you just get in your head too much, you know?
When are you in the zone? Because there's a zone thing. I don't know, you know, when you're being that person, that character, when you're locked in, is that the best thing in the world? Do you ever get to that?
When I'm in the zone, I love it. I feel like, because we go through so much just in general, in my happy place is when I'm like locked in doing what I love to do. I said to my mate the other day, if I wasn't getting paid for doing what I want to do, I would still do it. I love it. If I had to get like a sort of like another job, I would still find time to do this just because I love it. If, you know, this is as far as I get and I'm still doing it, I don't care. I love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as, my thing is like, as long as I get to do what I love, that's what keeps me Do you know what I mean? In that zone and just like...
Yeah. Because there's nothing better. There's a freedom and nothing else exists.
Yeah.
When you're there and you're in it and you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
How did you arrive at that connection?
Yeah. So when you did your one-man show, I'm assuming you featured in the one-man show.
Yeah.
Not the other Kema. Right. So your headspace from the first time you were on set with Daniel Blake to the person that stood on stage to do a one-man show, how different did you feel? And was it partly because you wrote the show yourself and you felt a bit more present in the context of what you were doing?
There was a lot more pressure because I was hearing things. Because you know what it is, Newcastle, part of it is a crab in a bucket mentality as well. And I was hearing a lot of things about people saying about my credibility as an actor in general. They're just like, oh, he only got that because he was black. Do you know how they had them ticky box things? They're like... And I was just like, no, but before that, I've been working hard. So when I got this opportunity to do the show, I felt like it had to go well, because then it was like, see, we knew it.
Because it was all of you.
Yeah. And people knew I was writing it. And I remember I think it was 6 days before the first night, and we had, I think we had 2 weeks on. And it was like, usually with shows, the tickets are like, you know, selling and stuff like that. And I think we had only sold 60 tickets over 2 weeks, like a few days before we started, which is terrible.
You've got to stay focused on producing the show.
And what was worse is I remember going, because it was in live theatre, and I remember going to the toilet and they were having a meeting and they were talking about, this is one of the worst shows we've put on. Like it's sold the word, it hasn't sold, blah blah blah. And then I was just terrified. And then one of my mates was like, "Just remember, you're not a playwright. So if it doesn't go well, you'll never playwright anyway." And I was just like, "Do you know what? I'm just leaning into that and just do the best I can." And I remember first night, there wasn't that many people there, but word must have spread around. And then like night after night, it was just packed. And then we're getting sold out shows. And that sense of relief when there was a sold out show, I was just like, and I remember it was the last show, because consistently doing shows, you lose your voice. And I remember I completely lost my voice and stuff. And we're going to cancel the show. And I remember the director got like a vocal coach to do these exercises to help, but my voice was gone. And in the show, like I'm singing, I'm rapping, I'm acting. It's a one-man show. And my voice was still gone. I think it was an hour before, it was just still gone, and we're going to cancel the show. And he came into me, he was like, "Look, mate, it's the last show, totally fine what you want to do. We can't cancel it, we'll just so you know it is sold out." And I was like, let's just do it, forget it, you know. And he came and he done a speech. He's like, "I just want to let you all know, this is not like a cop-out, like, but he has lost his voice, but he's decided he's still going to perform." And I went out, and I don't know if it was the adrenaline or whatever it was, but like my voice came back during the show. Done the full
it's like
show.
a film in its own right.
Literally. What? Yeah, literally, voice came back, done the full show. And then as soon as I finished the show, completely gone again.
Isn't that mad?
I was so emotional. I was just like, this is what it's all about. The show must go on. Like, this is why I love doing what I do. And I feel like if I didn't love doing, I wouldn't have got out and done that. Because I wouldn't have wanted to embarrass myself.
Yeah, you would have copped out, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So stuff like that, moments like that, I'm like, this is why I do what I do. This is why I love doing what I do. And this is why I'll continue to do what I do, you know?
That's really impressive.
It is.
Do you know, I'm going to ask you, because you mentioned growing up in the West End.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned instability in that, but what was it? It can be tough growing up in a working class area in the Northeast, especially when you have a creative career. Were you in a supportive environment, or was it a proper task to try and move into this space?
It was a task. I think it'll be good to explain, because I was born in Zambia, so I wasn't even born here.
Okay.
Came here when I was 3 years old. In the area where I grew up, like, it was tough. Like, there was a lot of violence and things like that, crime, drug dealer 2 doors down, quite a lot of racism and things like that. So I was trying to figure out the world in general. Went to, I think years ago, it used to be called Rutherford, and it was called Westgate Community College.
Yeah.
Went to Westgate Community College, awful school, like really tough, really rough. And my only kind of safe space was a youth project called Chat Shop. And that was within the area. And then they had like a studio in there, and they provided like free studio time. You could just go there wherever you want. So instead of being on the streets or hanging around, I just spent all my time in there. And then I tried to get there in days where it wasn't open and stuff. And I remember the guy who was working there, you'd open up the place so it could just be in there and just be creative. Mm-hmm. Without that, I wouldn't have been doing what I'm doing now. And this is why it makes us sad when they're shutting youth projects down, because they don't know how many lives they're saving by having a space like that and opportunities.
Is there anything you can do about that? I'm not saying like, you got to get on the streets and get a placard and that kind of, but there's got to be something, and I know for a fact that you'll probably want to do something like that, especially linked to the Tyneside cinema thing.
Yeah, I think this is why I'm passionate about working with young people, because I know what it's done for my life, and it's changed my life. Like, this is literally my career. And when I see people in difficult situations where they're young and they don't have the opportunities, I was like, I understand it. So I try and provide opportunities. I work for a company as well called Northern Roots, where we provide free studio time for local artists. Working with the Tyneside Cinema, they're providing spaces if anyone wants to go in. There's writing rooms and things like that. If they want to shoot stuff, they're providing it all for free. And I'm just trying to get a lot of these young people involved in the opportunities that they sort of can't see, because there's so many other me's around, and that's why even when I'd said on the panel, I was just like, I feel when you get in a position that where you can't give back, you should. And I'm not talking like I'm not even massive, do you know what I mean? Like not a lot of people even know me, but I am at a position where I can make things happen, so I'll do it. And it doesn't matter how big my career goes, I'll continually do that. Like, when I move up, I'll throw the rope down to see like who can climb up, because I'm passionate about the city, passionate about the young people coming up, and knowing like what it's like being there. Hoping someone can give you an opportunity. Because
credit to you though, mate, because like there's not many people would do. I mean, I know people come back, or they might live in London and come back to the northeast and support, but not many people stay and drill down and commit in that way. And like, your story could have been completely different. If a London agent had convinced you and said, you have to come down here, and you just...
They did ask me, by the way. They pushed me. They did, yeah.
I was wondering if people surrounding you were trying to push you to do that. If you did do that, then I guess the stuff that's going on at the minute and the grassroots stuff, it wouldn't be happening.
Well, that's it.
Because it needs people like you to drive it forward.
Yeah, but do you have to be down there? I don't think you do, because by the time you get credibility in the game, which you have, do you know what I mean? You can just, auditions on tape now kind of thing.
Well, that's it. I think after lockdown, a lot of things changed where you don't have to.
It's cheaper and it's easier as well, isn't it?
That's it.
Might not be better than being in the room, but it's still an opportunity that you can kind of do more of them. Do you know what I mean? But you can also do things that you want to do while you're waiting for those things to come up as well.
And that's exactly what I do. Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is why I'm glad I held on, because I was that close. Because it was getting to the point I was just like, look, it's just making more sense. There's more down there, but I just held off. And I remember it was actually before I got funding to write for the TV show I'm developing. I said, if I don't get that development money, then that's it, I'm going down. But then I got it, so I was like, right, I guess I'm staying. and then
sliding doors moments.
It was.
It's these tiny little things that just keep you going here, but why the hell have you got to be jumping through hoops and almost not get there and almost not? It's all, it should be called Almost. That's a new series called Almost.
Yeah.
I think we're the same. It's like, we should be called Pivot. Jesus, Pivot and Almost. There's a cop show on it.
Yeah, it does.
Trying to make it in the arts with Pivot and Almost.
The West End cop show.
It is our West End cop show, yeah. I just want to be creative.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
missed
one of
an
those.
important detail.
Yes.
Find that tenner.
I reckon they thought you plotted that.
I think they did. Because I didn't find. Do you know what? I didn't actually find it. I didn't find it. Yeah, and I remember being. So to give you a bit more why I was so bothered, because I couldn't even afford to get the metro. Cause I don't know what it is now, because I haven't been on it in years. But I think it was like a £5 for a day ticket. From Fordham to town.
It was.
So it's just like, that's what 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, almost, 30, 40 quid a week.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford it. So what I was doing is I was riding into town all the time, but it took 30 30 to 45 minutes to get into town. And I was using my mate's bike at the time. And I remember the bike sort of broke. And I was like, oh, but I couldn't get a new bike. And it was like, do you know you have like the handles and it has that, I don't know what it's called, but it sits on the bit.
The neck.
Yeah, the neck. Neck had broke, but I was just like, right, I'm going to have to be creative. So what I used to do, what I used to do, right, is when it was uphill, I would just like, you know, walk. But when it was downhill, what I would do is I would get on the bike and I'd put pressure on it so it wouldn't come off, and then just like sit on it and let it like just stroll down the hill. So that was the situation I was at financially. So if someone's asking me to go to town, if you're not paying for my like expenses, I'm not coming, because I'm risking, do you know what I mean, my safety on this bike.
Yeah, of course.
And even when I went to the same thing, when I went to the audition, same thing, like, you know, sort of get it on as much as I can. When I'm down the hill, stick on it, and then just sit and let it sort of ride. And so that I needed that tenner. I was just like, I need this tenner because I'm jumping the metro, and then
I've got to get this out of my head. I've written a completely different narrative to this now. I've got this vision, right? That Ken Loach has got that tenner, right? And he's written a really lovely piece of advice on it. No, like Poe's Golden Scroll on Kung Fu Panda, right? And he's wrote a really nice message to you, but he won't give it to you for another 20 years. It's folded up in a really small square in his back pocket.
Honestly, it was mad, yeah, because even just being in that route, I was so stressed. Look, I was just like, and they're laughing, but they don't know how important this
100%.
money is to me. And I did have to jump the metro. Lucky the checkies weren't on it. Don't put that in, because I mean, not that I mean, years ago, whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyways, look at the checkies. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's jumped the metro, haven't they? So yeah, like I remember I had to jump the metro, but just feeling like, oh, do you know, like just so stressed, just because just the financial situation I was in, and just being like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I don't know why I'm even doing this.
But you saying that shows the intent of where you wanted to be by doing that, jumping the metro kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're doing your best to try and get yourself further and up your game and get yourself out of that. That's important, mate. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, you know, the opening to his book, how skint were you, Kema? Have you ever ridden a bike with a broken neck?
That's it.
And we're off.
That is it. Honestly, I could tell you stories upon stories.
Click.
Honestly, literally, there's so many stories I can just tell you about having uncertainty and just like financial situations and just not having it figured out.
But what was interesting at the panel you on, you just, because that story takes that panel to a different level. Because everybody, like, when Jill Halfpenny was talking about accessibility and having to travel to London and paying for trains, you're talking about a train from, you know, a suburb of Newcastle to Newcastle.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you can split that up into just how difficult it is for people, certainly if they come from different backgrounds and they haven't got any disposable income. It means that the sector's not open to people.
Well, there you go. That's it. It's like, because obviously there's levels to it, and like, say, in that position, knowing that I have some form of talent to do something I love, but the opportunity is just not there because I can't afford to get a train to London to go to that audition, then you're not going.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who would, you know, have opportunities if they were in a position to be able to take them up. And I wouldn't have went to that audition if they weren't providing me that expense to get there. But how many casting directors will say, yeah, we'll pay you expense to get there? Not many do that. But that's interesting you say that. You're right. She was talking about going to London. I'm talking about riding into town, which is a massive expense.
To make the scope on the problem, doesn't it?
It does, because that's your problem. That was her problem, and somebody else is going, well, I can't afford to go to LA. Do you know what I mean? It's somebody else, and then somebody else is going, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, it's amazing how much money holds us all back.
Yeah,
the freedom to actually, the potential to be who you want to be or what you can be, but because you're in a financial situation that you can't do that, it's a crime. I hate it. No, I really do. I just don't. You know, the invention of money.
Yeah, but it's like you can look at it from a romantic way, right? And you'd be like, well,
I'm not.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, I was going to say to you, what can be done to change that?
Yeah,
because I would argue that the person you are now is because you had to graft like that and hustle like that to get to that point in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you hear about bands that have had to do club circuits and versus manufactured bands.
It shapes who you are.
Shapes who you are entirely.
But we're listening to one story. We're not listening to 50 others that didn't. And didn't have a chance to even get to that. But I don't know. You've just got to have this sheer, like, naive determination, I'm going to call it.
That's it.
To get to there.
That's it. You got to be delusional as well, I think.
Yeah.
You do.
I will do it. I don't know what
happen.
it is, but it will happen.
Yeah. I'm a very, I think I get it from my dad, but my dad's a stubborn man, but I'm really stubborn. I think I get that from my dad. And I've kept that in my career as well. Because there's been so many times where my mates have been like, what are you doing? Like, go sort your shit out, this and that. And I'm just like, no, I'm doing this. This is what I want to do. I'm doing this. And just sticking at it and then watching something happen and then you shocking yourself and be like, oh, this actually works.
Yeah.
You know, but you do have to be a little bit delusional, I think. I think if you look at everything very logical, as in like, you know, you're not going to make this because of this, then most time you won't. Yeah.
Logic doesn't get you out of bed.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I'm just saying, but everything is like that. I don't know how to do it. It's like, you know, if someone gives you an IKEA bed to make up, or you got any instructions, how am I going to do this? I'm going to figure it out, but I don't know how it's going to work. Yeah, but just don't leave it in the garage or don't take it back. But it is one of them. It's kind of, you got to, you're just wanting to figure this out. You're going to find a way no matter what. What's your family think about the journey, and are they still on your back when are you going to get a proper job then, Kema?
So interesting. Yeah, that's a very interesting topic. So to give you a little bit of background, so mum passed away when I was 14, so she never got to see what I become.
Were you doing this then though?
No. So no, I was, but not to the extent she even understood. So to put it into perspective, God, I'm going to have to give you the life story.
No, go for it, man. So, what are you here for?
So came here when I was 3 years old. My dad's uncle was the former finance minister of Zambia. Now, the plan was for him to come here, study. We were going to go to school, and then we were meant to go back, because having like an English sort of education is better than having like a Zambian one. And when you're going back, you're getting the jobs. So we was meant to do that, and then we were meant to go back. But while we were here, I think it was 2 years while we were here, he ended up getting assassinated, and it was some mad political assassination. He's called Ronald Penza. If you Google it, like, it's all up. There's still apparently never solved the murder. So when he died, every single sort of bit of money he was spending to look after us, obviously that got cut off. So now my dad had to figure out, how's he going to look after the family? It was me, my mum, my brother. My mum had just fell pregnant with my little sister, and I had to study as well. And obviously, if you come from a different country, you have to pay for your own educational fees. You're not getting no student loan or anything like that. So that was a lot of a strain in the family. Situations happened between my mum and dad. Mum had went back to Zambia, and it was just like, my dad will finish his course and we're meant to go back. Brother ended up getting into drugs, ended up getting sectioned when he was 16, 17. He's been in and out of hospital for many years. He's still currently in at the moment.
How much older is he?
He's 3 years older than me now. Yeah. So he ended up getting sectioned. My sister went back with my mum, but then it was like this thing of like, right, you know, we need to look after my brother first and then come back.
Yeah.
But then my mum died roughly around that time as well. So then it was like, right, why are we going back now? And then there was this battle to fight to stay here, which was a whole another podcast about that. So all these things happening, you know, my dad was just more focused on trying to get food on the table and make sure we're sort of safe. And I remember when I said, oh, I want to do rap, I want to act, my dad was like, no, you're not doing that. And I remember we had like a huge fight when I was like 19. And I remember he was saying to me, he's like, no, like, you need to do something that's more stable, like, you know, and obviously reflecting of everything that's happened. And then I said to him, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, it's so, I don't want to do something you want me to do and then me fail at it and then blame you because I failed because I never wanted to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
And then he said to me, he's just like, right, I'll let you do this. He's like, you've got 1 year to show me something. And he's like, if I see nothing, you're dropping all this creative stuff. Because as well, African parents being creative just usually isn't a thing. Like, you have to be a lawyer, doctor, or kind of all those jobs. And within that year, I remember I got loads of opportunities, and he was coming to my shows as well, and he was seeing what I was doing. And I think if he never saw it firsthand, he probably would have made me sort of stop. So he wasn't supportive in the beginning. He's open and honest about it. But when he's seen, like when he sort of just let go and allowed me to do what I wanted to do, and I wasn't just saying this is what I want to do and just sit and make a sandwich. I was working hard, emails, everything, doing all this. And then he was just like, okay, fair play. And he's just like, but if I see you drop off, then I'm going to be on your back. So I suppose he's also been there to make sure I don't fall off. Because like, soon as obviously we don't live together now, but it's built that mentality of like, make sure you keep working hard in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it makes sense though, because when you're a parent, you're like, right, I'm going to give you a chance, but you got to put the graft in, and that's what you did. And
well, fundamentally, you said the ethic is putting food on the table. You pay everything back to being like a parent or look after a family. You're always going to be thinking about the practical things. Have we got a roof over our head? Are we eating? Have we got food on the table? Are we safe?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that he must have been proud, or was he quite stoical about it all?
Now he is. Yeah, no, now he's like he's a proper proud dad. Wherever he goes, he'd be like, oh, my son's doing this. Look what my son done. Like, he's proud now, but back then, like, because I suppose he was dealing with a lot. Like, I think it was a battle where he knew, because he's stubborn, but I'm stubborn. I was just like, listen, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do that. So he had to make that choice as well, as in like, right, I've got to let him be his own man. Because I was 19. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was an adult.
I want to do it. Right?
Yeah, I'm an adult. I'm not a kid. So yeah.
It's tough because you can see where, we're parents, and you can see where you're coming from that perspective. Especially when, your wife's died, and then, your son's kind of, sectioned as well. It's kind of like, I cannot have any more wheels falling off. Do you know what I mean? And there's a pressure on that. And I can fail him. I kind of know what that's like. I kind of get that. I totally get that.
Is that stuff heavy to carry though, Kema? Like, about your brother and that? Like, obviously, you've got your own career, you've got your own life, but you've got that still around you.
Yeah, 1000%. My brother's taught me a lot from what he's been through as well. Because, when you have a big brother, you kind of want to follow what they do.
You look up.
You look up to
always,
them.
Mate. Yeah.
So I suppose in a weird way, his situations helped me stay on the right path as well, because I've seen the consequences of some of the things he got into and where it sort of led him. So when I was getting close to, because we grew up in an area where all this was happening, and as a kid you just get involved with whatever is around you. But watching what happened to him, I was just like, do you know what? Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I won't try that. Maybe I'll just spend my time doing that. So I suppose, it has been really difficult, but because it's been so many years, you sort of learn to live with the reality of it as well.
It's good on you that you saw it and went, I don't want to do that, because lots of people could go, I'll just do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It really is the choice though, isn't it? But you made that choice because you are your own individual person at the end of the day as well.
That's it.
Because you're creative and you pushed it against your dad's will as well. So you're still trying to do your thing. But you put the graft in, It's kind of,
Yeah, that's a good. I never looked at it that way, but you're right. You're very right.
Because we obviously everyone sees it on the outside looking in, but I can see that, and I've seen and I've heard a million stories about people doing that, and you either learn from it or you lean into it, and it's one or the other. But also, just because you're born and raised and you're with a family doesn't make you say you've got to be the same person. You're not. Do you know what I mean? You.
That's true.
Do you? Make it work.
Yeah, and I think that the hardest thing is like going through the journey and watching things go wrong, and then question yourself, like, am I doing the right thing? Have I done it right? And I think I have been hard on myself in terms of you know, where I'm at and what I'm doing. And I'm like, so I'm always consistently like, right, what do I need to do next? I need to do that. I need to constantly work hard. But it's like also this pressure I put on myself, as in like, I know the way I grew up, and I don't want to, you know, if I get blessed with kids and things like that and a family, I don't want my family to grow up like that. I want to make sure they're in a stable household and, you know, things are taken care of and they're not having to go through the anxieties and things I had to go through, you know.
And that's all right to think like that. I think sometimes you can be loyal to your upbringing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can backfire because, you know what I mean? People repeat habits. So I think it's all right to see. I mean, like we're dads, you know, we look at it as kind of families are evolutionary things, aren't they? And you're learning from past mistakes and trying to get better.
No, you don't know, but blame yourself. You know what I mean? You think
God,
it's always
honestly,
your fault.
all the time.
You know what I mean? You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what's going to happen. That's the pressure. Do you feel the pressure on yourself? Do you put pressure on yourself?
All the time. I think, I think growing up, I felt like my dad as well, he's always been a very much, because he's an African man, and the way they raise their kids is like, right, you're going to be what I tell you to be, and I'm going to push you all the way until you do it. But obviously it was a little bit different, but there was always that pressure of like, damn, I need to do something so my dad can be proud.
Yeah.
So I suppose there's also that element of doing that, but also like finding something for yourself, what can make you proud. But I'll definitely say I'm hard on myself, because I always tell myself, like, if I fall off, like, who's gonna pick me up?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes I do feel like it is down to me as well. And having that sort of pressure there means that, yeah, I'm never just like sitting lazing around. I'm always working.
Do you have a fear though, Kema? Have you got a fear of it all going away? Is that what keeps you pushing as well or not? Do you not think
in what sense would you mean?
Because the fear drives you forward, and you're fearful that I can fail. I might do this, that might fall off. Everyone might say I'm terrible. I might be letting people down, blah, blah, blah. It is a fear. You're living in fear of money. Is that, are you chasing? What's happening?
That's a deep question, but good one though. I think a lot of that, I definitely have a fear of not having much, because not having much, there's that uncertainty, you know, if you don't know when your next meal's coming, or you can't put the heating on, you're freezing, the anxiety of bills and stuff to like that. Like, I do have a fear of ever being in that position again, because growing up as a kid, it's like, I remember I never used to ask for nice things because I knew we were struggling financially. So, but as a kid, I should have been that kid to be like, oh, can I have this? Get told no, that's fine. Yeah. But I shouldn't have that awareness to be like, oh, we can't ask for stuff because we've gotten out, you know?
Yeah.
So there is definitely a fear of not having much. There's a fear of what I'm doing. People might be like, is he really that person? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've worked so hard, and I still work to this day very hard to be who I am. And there is still that element of imposter syndrome as well.
Yeah.
Like, is he really that person? Is he really about it? Is he really him? You know?
Do you try and over-prove that to people as well?
Good question.
Sometimes you can kind of go overboard of trying to be liked in a room and just go and put yourself out there.
Do you feel like you need that reassurance?
I would say, to be completely honest, I used to. I definitely did used to. But I don't know if it just comes with just maturing a bit more. But nah, I don't really care as much anymore. But I think years ago it was definitely something. Yeah. And also I think the element of, you know, me thinking, is he that person? It's the standards I have for myself as well. Because like some of my friends, there's been times when I've been like, oh, you know, I'm not doing as much, and they're just like, are you mental? Like, you've got that on, you've got that. Are you not seeing you doing this? You're doing that. You're doing this, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. But it's perspective as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's your default now.
Yeah, do you know? But it's that thing of like, yeah, when you do something, you just straight away like, right, well, what's next? And I think that it's a fault I do have in myself, because nothing ever feels good enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
When I've got it, it's like, right, I've got it now. nah, what's next? And that's a destructive way to think. I definitely recognise it.
But you know what? You're self-aware and you're aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're the same, though.
You've got to keep that. We're the
always
same,
feel like you're filling a sink full of sand.
Always.
all the time. Constantly.
Yeah. It is, literally. But yeah, because you're young and we've obviously got more time on you. It doesn't ever change, but just be healthier with how you manage it. Yeah. But it seems like you are, so... It's like with two fellas giving a young lad some wise wisdom.
Literally. That's the title of the podcast.
I think it was the bigger. It was. I think what solidified that thing in my mind. It was when I got my dream car, and I remember I was just like, I've made it because I've done. This is what I wanted to do, and I think after 4 months, the novelty weared off, and I'm just like, it's meaningless. Like it means nothing. Yeah. And then that's just taught us. I was just like, anything you're probably going to achieve at some point, the novelty wears off, and then you're just going to be thinking of the next thing. Mm-hmm. And this is why I set my goals so high. Hopefully I won't fully achieve, because I think once I achieve them, I'll probably be a little bit like, oh, now I've got to set a bigger goal. Yeah.
There's always another rung to the ladder.
Yeah.
You're never getting there.
Yeah.
But accept it.
Very, very much a wise old man thing to say that. Like,
yeah, it is,
isn't it? I
almost got a sort of Yoda vibes from that.
Do you know why? I think about this all of the time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It never ends, but but it's just understanding it, and it's the self-awareness, but, don't give yourself any self-hate because of it. Do you know what I mean? You have to not do that. So we're just trying to give you some advice with that.
So you've built that up philosophically now, and then we're going to have to
I'm trying to look after the lad. He's part of the family now.
I know,
that's what it's about, man. Fantastic. Should we go to the menu?
How do we go to the menu after that?
Menu?
Right. We're gonna confuse the life out of you.
Right, let's go.
Can I do this to an actor? Do you know what I mean? Right, we've wrote this menu, Kema, right?
Just
we're going to change it because we try to explain it every week and nobody understands what the hell we're talking about. But here you go, pick something from the menu.
I think it's the word menu.
Say, Lottie's laughing already.
Lottie, just 1 second. Do you think it's the word menu?
We've set it up like a menu.
Because when people think menu...
So I need to pick
anything from
right, so it's not stop.
Nah,
right,
okay. That's why it's going to change.
Okay.
We like leaning into the idiocy of what we've created.
That's what I mean. So
I was like, okay, for my start, I'll have this. For my main, I'll have this.
We thought it'd be clever to have a menu, and then we start. This is great. It was going to be worse than this.
Explain what do you mean by 3-second rule and last meal? What do you mean?
So if you say, just pick something. So last meal. What's your last meal? That's pretty much it. We know your the question. You say what that is.
Oh, right. Okay, so I'm about to die.
And
what's my last meal? Ooh, that's a good question.
Only 2 courses though.
Right.
I'm going to make it hard for you.
And what's the 3-second rule? What's that?
Right. Dropping something on the floor. Have you got a 3-second rule? Some people it's 5 seconds. Some people won't pick it up. What you like? Are you picking it up?
5 seconds, yeah.
5 seconds.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I'm a 5 seconds.
Mississippian,
yeah. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Start on it, everything.
I've got like a 5-day rule. It's like,
right. Sorry. Well, the thing is, there's nuance to every question there, Kema, because we're going to go a little bit deeper than this.
Okay, right.
You talk about dropping something.
What are you going for first?
I don't want. I'm going to explore this. I'm going to explore the 3
Are you going rogue on the menu?
I want to know, like. I do. I want to know, like, what's the worst thing he's eaten from? When you said you've eaten something out of a bin before, to be able for an example. Right.
Amazing.
Did I say that?
He did that. Well, who do we have?
Heather Mills.
Heather Mills, right?
Mills,
when she was a kid, she dropped that. She because she didn't have lots of food and had a ham sandwich, and she really relished that lovely ham sandwich. As a kid in the bath, she dropped it. In
the chlorine trough.
She picked it up and ate it.
Nah, that's too far for me.
Have you done that before?
That's a bit too far.
Have you ever dropped a pizza head face on the floor and then eaten it or like that?
I have.
You have, right?
In the house, but outside I wouldn't have done it.
See, I wouldn't have done it outside. This is the nuance of the question you say.
Yeah.
I would do it in the house, but not outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Because with a pizza, like. Yeah,
You're thinking of surface.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's it is.
Yeah,
like you can't eat ice cream that you drop on gravel.
Yeah.
It's a no-go. Anything if you drop ice cream, you cannot pick that thing up. There's nothing you can do with ice cream.
You can't.
But anything else depends on the texture and stuff. So,
right. Okay. So pick your top 3.
We'll do the Greg's last as well.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm gonna go last meal.
Right.
I love a pizza after a night out. It's always Meat Feast pizza.
Meat Feast, is that your go-to?
Meat Feast. Hot and spicy.
Are you going spicy, are you?
Yeah, hot and spicy.
So what's on this Meat Feast? Let's go for the meats.
We've got pepperoni.
Meat Feast.
Meat
Feast.
He likes the accent. Sorry, hang on. Meat Feast. Oh, we're going to get Meat Feast.
We've got a more Geordie accent. You've got
Meat Feast. Right. So we've got the pepperoni. We've got the mincemeat. We've got the jalapenos. We've got onions on it. Bits of chicken on it as well.
All right.
And extra cheese.
Peppers.
And what else do I have on it? And then just like chili flakes all over.
Oh, I love chili flakes.
Morley, that's like so
chili
hot.
flakes.
Do you like spice?
Yeah, love spicy food.
Yeah, I'm
one of my favorite. Loves anything with spice. I'm good with that.
Whole pizza. What size?
Whole
12
pizza.
or 14 or what are you doing?
Since I'm eating the whole pizza, 10. I can do a 10. 10.
do a 10.
Yeah. Couldn't do a 12.
Right. Even last meal. You want to save it. You want to save some more.
Do you know what? I probably could. Okay, we'll go 12. We'll go 12.
Oh, okay.
Go for a 12.
You can leave the crust.
Can I change? Because we got first pint. Can I change? So I don't really drink pints.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because I always feel bloated. I'm usually like a rum drinker.
Well, last meal, can I go back to this?
Go on then.
2 courses.
Dessert.
Are you going pizza? Are you going
savoury.
meat? Are you going appetizer? Are you going dessert on this? We're delving into the character here, man. Come on.
Okay.
For a sweet tooth.
To be honest, if I'm getting an appetizer, I do like calamari. Calamari is good for an appetizer.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So we'll get some calamari for the appetizer.
Then pizza.
And then pizza.
Okay.
And
what you having to drink?
And then a drink. I do love a rum and coke.
What type of rum?
I
like rum as well.
You know what?
I like rum.
I tried this. I can't pronounce it. I think is it bumbu?
Right. Is it dark rum? Is it?
It is dark, but it's like actually no, it's not dark. It's not dark. I'm trying to picture the bottle. It's called Bumbu. I think I'm butchering the name, to be fair. But I had it recently.
That's them not sponsoring the podcast.
Yeah, literally.
Let's go to Lottie. Lottie, can you Google that for us? Just,
and then you have to type in Bumbu.
Yeah.
I bet it's just going to come up bamboo, you know. It's just going to...
I think it's bum. I can't remember how you spell it.
What does the bottle look like?
So it's like it looks like, well, the rum looks like orangey.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like really sweet.
It's clear bottle.
Yeah, clear bottle.
Right,
yeah.
What we're getting there. Lottie, what's the consensus on Google?
It's a bamboo.
Bamboo, there we go. I didn't butcher it. Yeah.
What's the spelling? Can I have a look at the bottle?
It's need to try it if you're a rum drinker.
I mean,
we do a nice edit so you walk in with a bottle on the podcast.
Yeah.
I had one in the cupboard.
See, I always say it's what pirates drink. It's got 2 crossbones on there.
It's nice. You need to try it.
That's lovely.
Try it with
for the camera.
Because I don't have a lot of sugar, so with a Diet Coke with some lime and some ice.
Got to have lime in.
Yeah, you have to have lime in. You have to have the
so
lime in.
So you can drink alcohol with food.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm loving the sound of a rum and coke with it.
Yeah, rum and coke.
I'm just thinking heartburn, like.
What?
Getting heartburn.
Depends what you're drinking, though. Depends what you're drinking as well, and what you're eating as well. But yeah. It depends what I'm doing as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I probably wouldn't get that if I'm sitting by myself. But if I'm, say, out at a restaurant, I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, but when you've got 3 minutes to live, you'll be like, can I have a pint of Bumbu, please?
Get the full bottle.
12-inch feast.
Get on, man. Let's go.
Come on. Can I have 2 kilos of calamari? That's very much.
Yeah, calamari pizza. Yeah. You know, rum and coke with a Bumbu. And I'm not really a dessert person, to be honest. No? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right, my partner's going away in a couple of weeks' time on a Saturday night. That's what my table's going to look like.
Right. I would say if I was to pick for I do love Sensations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Them are good. Love Sensations, that would be good.
Mm-hmm. What's your top 3?
Top 3 Sensations? Crisps. Or crisps? Sensations. These, it's like Thai chicken. I don't think the Walker's crisps, but you see them in Tesco's. They're like, it's like a light blue packet.
Yeah, I've seen them.
What brand is that?
It's not it's not Tyrrell's. It's not.
What is it?
McCoy's.
Is it McCoy's? Yes,
I like the McCoy crisps.
Yeah.
The ridged ones.
Yeah. So the Thai ones.
The best because the flavour gets in the ridge.
Yeah. So like them. And I'm a big fan. Like, do you know the onion rings? Love them as well.
Like old school ones.
Yeah. Love them.
Party food. Cheese puffs, onion rings.
Onion rings. Yeah.
Salt and vinegar sticks.
That corn puff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chipsticks.
Yeah, chipsticks.
Yeah, chipsticks.
Yeah.
Nickname that.
Chipsticks.
That's not really a big good one.
Chipsticks. Yeah. That's lovely. Anything else on there, you think?
What have we just done?
Well, he's rattled. We've rattled off. Last night we did 3-second roll. He's a 5-second guy. And we've done crisps. What's the best thing you've ever eaten? Kim, what's your favourite meal? Around, you're buying around and about a bit. You kind of anywhere on holiday, anything like that. What's your favourite thing? It's usually place that kind of represents the thing that you eat as well. So feel free to embellish.
What do you know about your heritage though? Like your parents from Zambia? Like, have you got any?
It's so interesting, right? Because I went to Zambia for the first time since I came here. I think it was in 2022 I went. Yeah, food was amazing, like so good. And you can tell, do you know, like we'll have a lot of processed stuff here.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference because when you're back, obviously a lot of processed stuff just isn't there. And just the meat tastes different as well. Yeah, it's just everything's different. So love that. But it's really weird with my culture. So my mum in Zambia, I think there's 72 different languages in the whole of Zambia.
Really?
Yeah, which is mental. And my mum and dad were from different tribes who spoke 2 different languages. So the way they would communicate was either French or English. Which is
how interesting. Yeah. No wonder you're an actor.
I know, right? It was all the way through, do you know, generational.
He's good at accents.
You literally couldn't write it. But when we came here, like speaking English is a good thing, and so they just spoke English. So I don't know any of my mum and dad's languages, and they didn't even teach me French, so I only speak English. So I can't. Yeah.
So can you remember like anything from like back in the day, like your food, mum's cooking, dad's cooking, dad go cooking on?
Do you see? Yeah. Oh, dad's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah, no, he's a good cook. He's a good cook. Ooh, he makes really good cabbage. I know that sounds a bit
I'm like this already.
I'm a cabbage fan. I love cabbage.
Honestly, my dad's cabbage. If I'm ever here again, I'll bring some in. But honestly, he makes banging cabbage. Like that's one of my favourite things from him. Yeah, cabbage.
How's he doing? I
thought I've never watched. You know what I mean? It was just food's there. It's ready.
Spices or what?
So he has spices in it as well. Yeah,
it's crunch. What's happening?
It's like not too soft. Little bit crunchy, but but it's good. You know, he slices it properly. It's thin. Yeah, really thin. It's amazing. Amazing with a bit of chicken, rice.
Yeah. Oh man, today's made me really hungry on this podcast.
We did this morning.
I don't even talk this much about fish and chips.
The last 2 guests went out and got fish and chips because we talked about fish and chips. I said, I'm not kidding on that. They've just sent us a picture of them eating fish and chips because we were talking about it. So what can we get you to eat?
Yeah, that's it, man. Wow. Yeah,
but it's good, though, isn't it? It's an international language of everyone loves food, and it's sort of. But it's even that you're talking about cabbage. I don't think anybody would have that in their mind. It's unique to you. Yeah. But I'm a massive fan. I'll chop it up, fried up, quinoa in it. Right. And then you have like grilled chicken or something in with that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just a tiny little bit of chipotle in there. It's like, it just lifts it a bit more.
I love it.
Bit of garlic in there as well. Oof. Mate, simple. But it's nice as well.
Oh, you make me hungry now.
Like wow, yeah. Man, you don't. We're gonna on a cabbage off.
Literally, on it next time I'm here. I'll actually bring some of try. But
we'll have to bring back former guests to bring their food.
Do you know what?
The family food.
We had Pink Lane Bakery over in Gosford.
Oh right.
Honestly, I always go back to his Greg's thing.
Oh, his Greg's order was phenomenal.
Oh man, so he's a baker, right? And he used to get a Greg's cheese pasty put it inside a buttered roll, and then put a packet of cheese and onion crisps in.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
That was his go-to thing.
That was his go-to, right?
And I've thought about it ever since.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that.
Guy who runs a high-end bakery.
Yeah,
He goes
We could do like sort of, like you do a science fair.
Yeah.
We could do it for my guests. So they'll come to a big room and bring their food item.
you should.
It's a show and tell, isn't it? It is
Show and tell.
Because you're right. I feel like you can tell a lot about what people eat, can't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You can. Huh?
What you told about me, about what I eat. What does it say?
You have an eclectic upbringing. I would say.
What does that mean, eclectic?
Like varied and
Right,
lots
yeah.
of different influences.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Yeah,
You can.
yeah.
And the fact that your go-to was a cabbage.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like it obviously takes you somewhere in terms of nostalgia and you know what I mean.
I definitely think it's based on mood as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you eat like on kind of what mood you're in? Do you listen to varied types of music as well?
Yeah, listen. Obviously, I love rap, R&B. Do listen to pop as well, actually, quite a bit. Weirdly, country music as well. I've been listening to some country music.
You kind of run away from country. There's some loads of nice stuff.
No,
like
there
Luke
is.
Combs and all that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
it was. Do you know? It's funny. I was doing a session, and like the young people were there, and I was like, right, because it was really quiet and there wasn't many people there. And I was like, what? Someone give me something they want to listen to, and it was I can't remember the artist who they put on, but I was just like, this is good. Yeah.
Good tune.
This is good.
I
feel,
story.
To be totally honest, the only sort of style of music I haven't been able to really get with is probably like heavy metal.
I'm the same. Mate.
Are you the same? Yeah, that's the only thing.
You've liked metal. I can't.
I love metal.
I don't understand. Do you know the
yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't understand.
No, with this heavy metal and this screamer, I don't go screamer.
Scream metal then. That'll be the one.
Yeah, but it's under that. You got like, you're hitting Metallica and then you're going above. Do you know what I mean?
I draw my line. Because
you
got like Rage Against the Machine I can get to, right? I like. And then I draw the line and the rest is just kind of noise to me.
I would just say it's the screaming. It's the screaming.
Scream was a different thing. It's like its own niche. In the metal end.
It sounds like the breaking the vocal. I mean, it's a talent, isn't it? Like to I don't know how they make that sound.
But I like a melody. I like it.
So I'll listen to stuff like
stuff like that. So, but currently I'm into. Well, I've got Chris Stapleton. I've got all sorts of stuff on my Bonnie Raitt the lot. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I go from metal to that.
Yeah, because I'm honestly,
like Dixie Chicks to that. How'd you get it there? Like. Do you know good track's a good track, mate.
Well, that's it. That's what I was saying. I was listening. I listen to quite a lot of French music as well. Funny enough, and there's this artist called Franklin, and he does. It's like French music, but it's like quite Afro beaty, but obviously in French. And do you know what was that song? That Spanish song that came out years ago, and it was massive. Everyone was singing. It was like Despacito.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I remember thinking, I was just like, you know what, music is so universal because no one knew what they were saying unless you spoke Spanish, but yet they were able to connect with it, and it was in all the clubs, it was everywhere, and that's what I love about music, is in like all styles of music is a way to connect. Like music isn't a language, it's a feeling, and I think when you add melody to it, that's what people
transcends everything completely.
It does, but it can change your mood on a whim. If you want to cheer yourself up, you can change.
That's what I do. I literally do that. Whenever I'm feeling like, obviously if I go to the gym, certain type of song, if I'm feeling down, certain type of song, you know, if I'm just in a good, like, you're right, and just flip your mood like
gym
that.
music's not my place in the gym. I don't listen to that normally.
That's
like let's get this thing done.
Like you got a different style for every mood and every situation.
It's great. Good track's a good track. I always say it to the kids as well. So last one, Kema. I've made a mess.
You just said.
Make sure you get that in as well.
Right, the entirety of nearly an hour and a half podcast,
I've
right?
said it.
And you've at the very
times,
last hurdle.
And the last one.
Oh, hold on.
It.
Did you just do it on purpose?
I've kicked.
It's for the content. It's for the content.
Sorry.
Come on, Daniel Princess. Come on.
What's your Greg's order?
My Greg's order. I remember there used to be this deal. I haven't been Greg's in a while, but used to get 4 sausage rolls for £1. Nice. I remember back in the day.
That was the heyday of the sausage
roll. Do you remember?
I
when
remember that,
like 4? So I used to, I would say, sausage roll. Used to love sausage and bean melt, but then I went off them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember once I went and it was really cold, and then like I felt really, and then I've never ordered one since. But I would say if I'm going Greg's and I can't, I'm just like sausage roll.
Oh, it is. Yeah. All right, nice and simple.
Or chicken bake, maybe, but sausage roll,
go to,
love it.
Easy standard.
But the hot one as well, I hate going there and you get given the cold ones.
Hey, there's still a Greg's outlet on West Road, you know.
Is there?
I've heard of it.
That's the one I used to go to after school.
The outlet where you can go and get like.
Is it still there?
Sausage roll ends.
Wow, wow.
Just a paste.
Broken spiky Mikey's.
Yeah, wow.
The filling out of a corner.
What, just a big bag of filling?
Tub of filling. That'd be all right, that wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Sausage roll unwrapped.
That sounds a documentary. Is that like bringing down as Greg's? Sausage roll unwrapped.
Sausage roll unwrapped.
Like panorama.
What was in that filling? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure.
No, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Do you know what? Honestly, it's like I forgot the cameras here as well.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, which is a good sign.
That's good, mate. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Cheers.